Hello, everybody. My name is Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Microsoft Business Applications MVP. On this 250th Partner Talks, I have a very special guest, Amy Homan. Amy, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, Rick. So Amy Homan. I have been in this ecosystem since 1999. Isn't that kind of crazy? I hate to have to say that, but it's actually also very exciting. I have held roles with Microsoft partners. I've worked in the ISV channel. I've worked internationally. So I have a really great background to pull from to have some of the conversations we're going to have today.
And I wanted you on this interview because you've got a very special position now with Directions North America. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I was voted in as president last year. I started with the directions board at the beginning of 2014. Hard to believe that it's been 11 years now. I came in and was the treasurer all the way up until last year. Can I give a shameless plug to see if anybody's
Absolutely.
interested in raising their hand to
No,
take on the treasurer role? Because I haven't found anybody to take that over. So currently, I hold both the treasurer and the president role. Well, thankfully, I've got some support on the treasurer role, so that makes it a lot easier. But yeah, as the president, it's my responsibility to ensure that we kick off a really great event and drive value to our community and bring an awareness of all the things that are going on within the Microsoft ecosystem, within the Dynamics and Business Central specifically, and bring all of our sponsors and our partners together so that they can engage and collaborate and figure out how we can have great solutions and for the customers that are out there.
so let's talk about that community because Directions is a very special community. I've been to several of your events, and I've got to say they are excellent events, and the level of um, working together and networking it's not even close at any other conference. So talk to me about this community and what makes up this community and why it's so strong.
So I think community is really the collaborative word. We were chatting a little while ago about how when the Microsoft acquired Navision back in 2000, and there was a very strong community of partners that worked together. And then it seemed like we had a little divergence where there might have been a higher level of competition. But then I would say over the past 15 years or so, those partners have really come together and we love to share our experiences and network. As you know, the North American event is hosted by a group of board members that are volunteers. We do this as a out of the passion of our hearts, and I think that maybe makes it slightly different because we don't have, of course, we have to be fiscally savvy, but we don't have any shareholders or anything that we're accountable to. We're accountable primarily to the community. And we talk about that a lot. That is this something that our community wants to hear from us? Would they like to engage in these activities? And we're solely driven based on those kinds of decisions, which is pretty exciting.
So, Amy, let's talk about what's coming up in Las Vegas in just a few weeks because this is where your community gets together and it's going to be a fantastic event.
Yes, so Las Vegas, who doesn't enjoy Las Vegas, unless you've lost a bunch of money there, of course, but we're going to hold it this year at the Virgin Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. It is a very, very nice venue for us. We've had some places in the past that were a little tiny for us that have made it difficult for us to hold the event, but yeah, this year we're going to have plenty of space. Um, we're actually going to be holding the keynotes in a concert venue, which is also quite exciting because it makes it feel a little bit more glitzy and glamorous than our traditional conference style venues. We have just over 70 some sponsors, I believe, that we have now. I was mentioning earlier to you that it used to be challenging for us to get 6 gold sponsors, and now we've actually had to create a whole new level called Diamond, and we have 6 Diamond sponsors. We have 21 gold sponsors. It is absolutely epic. And of course, we've got a lot of other sponsors and exhibitors coming. And we're also, last year, we hit a whole new high of 1,300 attendees. This year, we have a goal of 1,500. I think we're going to break that pretty easily. Last year, we also had 320 some net new attendees coming to the conference that had never been before. We expect that to also climb this year to a whole new number. So certainly there is some significant interest from the community, which I just love hearing because we work so hard to put on this event.
And I've been going to your conference probably for the last 5 years, and I've got to say there's a big number of returnees. There's a big number of, I'm going to say, different than any other conference, is a lot of the principals, a lot of the owners um, enjoy going to Directions because that's where they go to network, both the ISVs and the RSI partners. Let's talk a little bit about the track that you have for owners.
Yeah, so a few years ago, we put together a owner and executive type track, and in that first year that we did it, so 3 years ago, we did that for the first time. We got a really great response from the audience of owners, and then they were like, "Man, this has been so amazing!" And just the ability to get into a room with your cohort and actually sort of open up yourself to have real conversations. I'm always impressed at the conversations that people are having, that they're willing to share very what I would consider private information about your business or your secret sauce. And there is no lack of sharing in that room. Last year, we had 122 people register, and they're VAR owners. We haven't yet been able to put together an ISV owner track, but we are on target to do that next year. So for those of you ISV owners, you could be looking forward to that. That's just VAR owners, and the room was packed. It was like standing room at the back of it when we first got started. And like I said, it's really fascinating to watch the conversations that are happening and the inspiration that comes out of that and the feedback that we get from it as well.
And we should also talk about Microsoft because, you know, in the SMB mid-market for a long time, Microsoft didn't pay a lot of attention. But now we're really seeing them coming out to Directions and fully supporting the event.
Yeah, so we've been really fortunate. Microsoft has been a huge advocate for our event for a really long time. I will say that I'm aligned with you that they've been paying a lot more attention. I think the numbers speak for themselves and the growth, despite their, focus in other areas. But yeah, we couldn't put this event on without Microsoft. They bring well over 50 speakers alone. They bring their support community. It's lovely to see Mike Morton come in and give us the vision that he has for the product and everything that they've been able to accomplish. And then, of course, there's a contingent of the Microsoft team that is shares a lot of what the functionality and the features and the roadmap are. So yeah, Microsoft, we couldn't do it without them. And it's I think it's really valuable also for everyone else because Microsoft is out there speaking with people. They're getting direct feedback. They're taking the meetings with the partners so that they can really solicit what's going on in the ecosystem and make the nuanced changes that help us all get better and grow bigger and faster and better.
Okay, Amy, thank you for coming on Partner Talks and helping me celebrate my 250th episode. And I look forward to Directions Las Vegas. I think it's going to be an outstanding show. And I'm sure everybody there is going to have not only a educational time, but a great time of networking and really feeling part of the community.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on and share what it is that we're doing and the upcoming event for us, Rick. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Amy, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
See you there.